What's up, good people? Appreciate you coming to check your boy out at the Real Counselor's Corner. If you're not following me on all social platforms, check me out on IG, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. But yeah, before we get into it today, I want to throw a plug in for our mentoring program out of WEB Du Bois Academy here in Louisville, Kentucky. Our Alliance to Leaders mentoring program. We got 600 young men, and anyone can benefit from a mentor regardless of your home life or what you got going on. Anyone can benefit from the wisdom of another able and sound-minded adult. So if you can pass a background check and you're interested in helping build the youth and you're in the Louisville area, or even if you're interested in participating virtually, I'll figure that part out and we'll get you in the game. So if you want to mentor some of these young men, hit me up on my DM or send me an email directly, calsr78@gmail.com. All right, so with all that being said, we're going to go ahead and get into the topic for today, and it is recalibrating, which is basically getting back to the essence of whatever it is that you do, whatever it is that has taken you to the highest point in your life. So that's what we're on today. Just a little short video. Not going to be here too long, but I will talk to my grown folks first, and this stems from a conversation I was actually having with a good friend of mine when I went back home. A good friend of mine, we were sitting talking, and every time I meet with this partner of mine, we always have conversations that are in depth, and they focus on how can we better ourselves? What can we do during this lifetime that's going to be everlasting? So one of the things we talked about was our life, like where we are on the timeline of life. And the analogy that we came to was because we hoop together, we play ball together. And the analogy we came up to was like a basketball game. And we talked about how right now, if you're around my age, about 40, early 40s, late 30s, mid 40s, I'll say, we kind of at the halftime part of our life, or actually past halftime. We actually leaving the locker room and going out to the floor for the second half, if you want to put it on that type of timeline, that type of analogy. So we got to the point of figuring out, so now that we're in the second half of our life, we got to figure out how we want, and as sad or, I don't know, depressing as this may sound, how do we want it to end? We know how we spent the first half of our life. Hopefully we spent that half of our life trying to get ahead, get to where we want in life. And now the second half is like, well, how do we want things to, come to a close? So now it's focusing on what can we do that's going to be everlasting? What can we do that's gonna stick around? Because we all know that, the dead are forgotten about over a period of time. And not to say the people that love them forget about them, but the people that love them, we also die also. All right, so the dead are always at some point going to be forgotten about. So we have to do something while we're here among the living that's going to, be everlasting. It may not be our name that carries it on, but maybe something that we can hand off to one of these youngsters. They carried on. So us as adults, we have to recalibrate and get back to the essence that took us to the highest point in our life, whatever that was. If that was yesterday, keep going with that. If that was during your youth, get back to that. Because one thing is that with life, we all know it's about how you end. So, if you had a great early portion of your life, you was the man, or you was the female, that's all good. And vice versa. Let's say you didn't accomplish much the first half of your life. Both of those scenarios are relevant, because the second half, we're working on making it right, or making it better. So for our adults, let's recalibrate and get back to whatever we were doing when we got to the highest point in our life. And for my youngsters, my youth, the ones who I'm really here for at the end of the day. So August, a couple weeks, man, actually about a month, most of you young men and young women are going to be in classrooms, sitting there for a full day, when in most cases you haven't been in a classroom for a full day. So one of the things that you're going to be lacking is just that academic stamina. And what I mean by that is just being able to go into an academic setting and being able to sit or not even necessarily sit, but being able to sit and participate, for a lengthy amount of time. You have to think about it. It's been a while since you sat, in a desk for 4+ hours a day. So go ahead and start getting mentally prepared for doing that, because when you go back to school, it's not a situation at home where you can get up when you want to, go get something to eat when you want to, all those good things. So you just have to mentally prepare of getting back, into that scenario, Another thing the youth, the youngsters can start working on in order to get, recalibrated back to this academic setting that we're going back into. That is going back to what you want to accomplish with your life. So you're on the opposite end of the spectrum as opposed to, the first portion of the video when I was speaking to the adults. You're on the opposite end of the spectrum. You're actually in the beginning. So if you haven't figured out or determined what you want to do, and it doesn't have to necessarily be something that is, in stone, something that, you have to stick to. This is going to change, countless number of times in your life. But go ahead and start with what is it that you want to do, man? And one of the things I always tell folks, kids, is, start with something you enjoy doing, because the way the world is now, how things are formatted, you can make money, legit money, basically doing anything that you love doing. It's just having the hustle, to find out, how to take that idea, take that love and just generate it into some type of currency. So, start out with something that you love doing, but also, be realistic. Because one thing I also tell kids is, dreams are cool, but they have to be realistic. If it's something that you want to do, but you don't have the drive or the grind to make it happen, figure out something else you want to do. Because we all know that things don't just fall in your lap. You got to be able to go out there and get it. So to my youngsters, go ahead and get ready mentally to just, be in that academic setting, being able to understand that now you're going to have to follow a certain set of rules that you may not have been following for the past couple of years, year and a half, however long all this has been going on. Because we all know rules at home are much more lax than rules at school, as they should be. So, prepare yourself for that, and then go back to start thinking about what you want to do. And this is everybody from pre-K to 12th grade. For my 12th graders, we're going to get into something. For my high schoolers, we're going to get into something a little different later. We're going to start talking about some trades and, some other avenues to success outside of college. Of course, college is always a great pathway, but we're going to talk about some other options because we know, folks are different. So with all that being said, man, appreciate y'all coming to check me out. I know this was a short one. They're going to get longer. I'm going to have some guests on here. We're going to do some big things, just about trying to spread this word, do something positive out here. So pass this information at the Real Counselor's Corner, man. Make sure you follow me. If you're not following me, I don't know what's up with you, man. Pass it on to somebody else and hit that follow and subscribe button, IG, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook. Peace.